there, cat people. Dan the Catman here, along with Michelle the Meow Maven. Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Michelle is the author of the book The Farty Feline, and which is a true story based on a true story.
Guilty as charged.
And we're here with Stephen Quant of catbehaviorhelp.com. Stephen
Dan.
is our producer and resident cat behavior expert. And joining us is a very special guest. We have Katy Hansen, Director of Marketing, did I get the title right? Of New York City ACC, which stands for?
It's Animal Care Centers of New York City.
Awesome. Before we get to talk to you, Katy, we have a little business to take care of. Michelle, take it away.
My pleasure, Dan. Shelter Cats Podcast has joined the Chewy Shelter and Rescue Affiliate Program. Chewy's mission is to be the most trusted and convenient online destination for pet parents and partners everywhere. Chewy is passionate about supporting animals and making a positive impact in communities across the country. Local shelters and rescues oftentimes serve as a first home or provide continued support to pets. That's why Chewy is committed to supporting organizations that benefit the overall health, safety, and well-being of shelter and rescue animals. Please click the link in the podcast description. You'll not only be helping your local shelter, you'll also help support the podcast. So thank you, Chewy.
Thank you, Chewy. We love Chewy. Chewy's the best.
We do.
Katy, thank you so much for joining our podcast.
Thank you for having me. I also love Chewy. I mean, just as an FYI, Chewy is like, they are a Harvard Business Review case study in customer service.
Rightfully so, I think.
They're amazing.
It's true. I once had Chewy misdeliver an entire massive amount of food to New York when I was on vacation in Maine, and I called them up and they said, "Oh, just donate it to your local shelter. We'll reship to you in Maine." And I did, of course, and you can guess where I brought it.
Thank you for that, Stephen.
Of course.
And to date, Chewy is the only time I've ever received flowers in my life. No one's ever sent me flowers except Chewy. And that was when Sophie, this picture, when she passed last November, I suddenly had flowers at my door, which I've never experienced. So thank you, Chewy, for, sending me flowers. So, fun fact, Katy, I have my 15-year-old cat, Taylor, is an ACC alumni. I got him 2 years ago. He's asleep literally right off my right shoulder, and he is an amazing cat.
Well, we've got the greatest animals. I mean, we're the city's open admission shelter, which means we take in every single animal that comes in through our door. We're the only shelter in New York City that does that. So that is why we have the greatest.
He's amazing. A volunteer, I think, named Evelyn worked with him and posted videos on her own YouTube. And, he was struggling at first because he had kind of a bad, he'd seen some stuff in his life. And within a couple of days, it was like he's always been here. So shout out to ACC right off the bat for Taylor. I love him. He probably will show up at some point because he likes the attention. So can you, right off the bat, you just said ACC, can you talk about their mission, just for people not in New York who aren't as familiar with ACC?
Yeah, sure. So we're basically the public shelter system in New York City. I mean, every city has a municipal shelter, and ACC is that shelter for New York. And our mission is to end animal homelessness in New York City. So just a light mission. And we take in, between 20 and 25,000 animals a year. And it's not just dogs and cats, although it's majority are dogs and cats, but we take in rabbits and guinea pigs and the occasional cow. We took in a wallaby once. We've taken alligators, snakes, lizards, potbelly pigs.
I would like to know about this cow.
Me too.
People don't realize that there are meat processing slaughterhouses in New York City and
right.
Outer boroughs. And oftentimes animals will escape off the truck, and then so they're running down the highway. So when that happens, they are
I just love
corralled
the
by
visual driving down Southern
NYPD.
State and seeing a cow running down the side of the street.
It is amazing. There was a story recently with a cow on the train tracks of Newark. But yeah, so we've had cows, we've had goats, and what happens is we work with several different sanctuaries, and we work with a big one in New Jersey called Skylands Sanctuary, and so the animals get sent there.
Okay, that answered my next question. Where did the cow go?
To a small apartment on the Upper West Side.
I have a backyard. We could have worked it out. So, being a New York City's only municipal shelter, am I right?
Yes, correct.
That sounds like more challenges than we have time to record about. So, what are the biggest, like on a day to day? What are the biggest challenges you face?
I think from a marketing standpoint, there's several challenges. One is that, not everyone knows who we are. They know who we are when they want to surrender a pet. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
But we have a lot of, I don't want to use the word competition, but in a way we do. There's a lot of individual rescue groups in New York City, and they work with us, so they pull a lot of our animals. But we also have national organizations here, and so sometimes they get confused. And so, and also, there's so many animals coming in right now. There's more animals coming in, and not a lot of people are adopting. So animals are coming in because people are worried about their finances, and people are worried about their finances, so they don't want to adopt. So we are overrun with animals right now. We're triple our capacity with dogs, and we have been for over a year. And so that is tough. And yet at the same time, it's a lot of groups that are transporting animals from the South into New York City, thinking, oh, this is so great. We'll just transport all these animals. And there's 8 million people in New York City. So it's like we're sort of competing for potential adopters. So that's hard. And sometimes there's some old school thoughts about what a shelter is. It might, people might be afraid to go to the shelter, but as Stephen can attest, we have so many new buildings, and we have a new pet adoption center in New York City, right on East Harlem, and it's beautiful. It's won several architectural awards, as a matter of fact. I say it as if I designed it, but it's won several awards. It's very light and airy, which is great for the animals. We have a brand new 3-story shelter in Queens on Flushing Avenue, which is state-of-the-art, beautiful. The first time Queens has ever had a full-service animal shelter in its history. So
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Really exciting. Yeah. There's a mandate from the city that every borough needs to have a full-service shelter, but so far it's only been Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Staten Island. The Brooklyn shelter is closed because it's being renovated. So we have Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens, and the Bronx shelter is being renovated, is totally new. And that's set to open sometime next year. So that's super exciting too.
Wow.
But in the meantime, we have, 3 shelters servicing 5 boroughs and the animal needs of 8 million people.
And to Katie's point though about the new shelter, the new adoption center in Manhattan, not only is it beautiful and there's skylights and it's welcoming, but I'm proud to say that the human connection at ACC is really important. There are so many deeply caring people at ACC, and I watch our adoption counselors work with clients all the time, and it can be magical to watch. We've just recently had a 9-year-old blind cat who turns out to also be deaf,
Oh.
adopted by a woman with 6 blind. cats.
Holy cow!
You can't make that up.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. It's always also really fun when a kid it's their first pet. You know, they've come in with their family and they're looking around and, you know, it's like it's their first kitten and, you know, it's that excitement that we all felt when we had our first pet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of ups to experience. And, you know, sometimes some of these animals have been abandoned. So, you know, this is the first time they've had the care from professionals, you know, like Stephen. It's like the first time they're experiencing what it's like to learn how to relax and learn how to be loved. And so, yeah, it is. And we have an amazing staff, amazing staff. We have almost 400 staff.
Wow.
So we're big. We're a big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah,
How did,
you need that staff. I'm still I'm a little bit stuck on that. It's only recent that all 5 boroughs are mandated to have their own facility,
Well,
which
it's been a while that they've been
okay.
mandated. It just they haven't been built. Yeah.
I'm just surprised that hasn't been. I just feel like animal shelter, animal welfare has. It's not like it's not like that's a new concept. You know, that's. So I'm just surprised that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that there's also been a shift with elected officials, definitely taking more interest in animals.
Hmm.
And actually, it was Mayor de Blasio that got all of the money approved for the capital projects that are going on right now.
oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, so he and his team worked really hard on that. So here we are waiting for them to open.
How did you come to work for ACC? Can we learn a little bit about your background?
Oh, sure. So for the first 20 years of my career, I was on Wall Street. So I was doing marketing for banking and for financial firms. And that was really rewarding emotionally.
I said sarcasm.
Thing. Um, it was great for the wallet, but not great for the soul. Um, and so I had been in a rescue group in New York City that actually just did fundraising for other rescue groups. And so I was kind of familiar with the whole animal scene, and I've always been an advocate for adoption and for animals. And at the time, the person that was doing the marketing left ACC, and so that was like my campaign started with our CEO, Risa Weinstock, and I just basically wore her down until she met with me, and I, you know, kept sending different ideas, and so yeah, so finally she took a chance on a Wall Street lady and brought me in, but I had dinner with her one night and it was life changing. And I thought, ACC is doing so much and the public just doesn't know about it. And we need Risa to have this conversation with 8 million other people.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so the work was already happening. It was easy from a marketing standpoint. Just no one knew about it. So it was like the best case scenario for me. I could come in and just let the world know, look at all the stuff that is happening and all the great things that are happening. So that's how I came to ACC. I've been there for about 11 years.
Oh, wow. Because, you know, to my uneducated podcast brain, I wouldn't think a municipal shelter would need a marketing director, but actually they probably need that more than anything else because of what you just said is just the awareness of how much. I didn't know ACC had facilities in other boroughs. I just assumed it was Manhattan. You know, so I find that interesting that we're talking to the marketing director of ACC versus anybody else because it's really important to get the message out. I would
It
assume.
really is. And also to help people overcome any sense of like fear of coming into the shelter. So, you know, and especially because social media allows us to project this great image at no cost to us. So it was, you know, social media has changed the game for animal shelters, I would say. So, immediately the focus was on building our presence on Facebook and Instagram and now on TikTok. We have about 500,000 followers on the different platforms, and that has really helped. Because people can see like, oh wow, what a great place, what great people. This week is Volunteer Appreciation Week nationally, and so people can see like, oh wow, look at all the great work. And the fact that Evelyn, Stephen and I know who Evelyn is. She's an amazing volunteer. She actually got a Lifetime Achievement Award from President Biden because she put in so many hours. Yeah. And she had been doing dogs for most of her career. And then after COVID, came back and was like, you know what? I think I need to like switch gears, and now I'm going to do cats. And she's the reason so many animals have been adopted. So yeah, volunteers are really.
Katy, do you remember approximately how many hours Evelyn was recognized? It was some astronomical figure. I want to say like 20. It can't be 20,000 hours.
It
was just huge.
More than 10,000.
Yeah.
But you're kind of putting me on the spot here, Stephen.
No.
Yeah, it's definitely more than 10,000. But it's a large amount. She has now, and she's a retired doctor. So we have there's a lot of different kinds of volunteers. We've got doctors and lawyers, and we even have a private equity guy. I met him I know, right? And I was like, private equity.
Wow.
So we have all types. We have all different, and they're learning about animals too. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have learned from Stephen and from Stephen's colleagues, and PT was another, cat expert. It's great for them too, because they're learning about how to handle cats. And Stephen brought in, what was the name of the person that brought in the toys?
That was Andre Grigorov of catamazing.com, who donated some 10,000 toys and helped develop a new way of putting a toy in a kennel that keeps the toy from getting in a water dish, and it keeps it really clean and makes it interesting for the cats. And
He's emailed us about being on the show. I've heard Cat Amazing, so that's awesome. I didn't realize he did that.
Yeah, and the cats love it, and it's great. It's great for them. It's great for their enrichment, and there's so many things you wouldn't even think of. Like I don't know when it was, maybe 8 years ago, we put in cat portals. Which seems, like a hole in between the two metal cages, so that they could have a place to do their business and then have a place to relax. Seems like really, like a no-brainer, but this was something that was pretty cutting edge, like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So there is cutting edge stuff going on with animal sheltering and with cat sheltering. So, yeah.
Is getting volunteers, is that a challenge? Because for smaller rescues that we've had on the show, that's a continuous challenge for getting volunteers, getting fosters. Do you find that a problem for an organization of your size?
I think because we have brick and mortars in every borough, it's a lot easier for us to get volunteers because, we have a steady stream of animals. We have a place to come. It is hard to get fosters sometimes, especially for large breed dogs, but we have a good roster of cat fosters. And people love cats. Obviously that's why we're all here.
We do.
But for the first time in our history, we're 30 years old. June 4th is our 30th birthday.
Oh.
For the first time in our history, we have open cat rooms. Where more than one cat can be. Again, seems like a no-brainer, but it's been amazing. And then the cat cafes, it's like everybody's really just, I think, during COVID, people really just wanted companionship. And so a lot of cats were adopted because people realized like, wow, they're actually super cool. It's not just dogs that are cool.
I prefer cats to people most of the time, so I completely understand that.
Cats are definitely having their moment.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
nation is doing really well with cat adoptions. I will say that. So I think as people want companionship, but they are afraid about the cost, uh, adopting a cat seems to be like a little easier on the wallet. So
Right.
people are adopting cats, which is good news for us.
How many cats do you currently have in all the facilities? Is that something either of you can answer?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sorry.
Um,
No offense intended.
no, yeah. So we have 320 cats right now across all the shelters.
Mm.
It's mostly divided up between Manhattan and Queens, but Staten Island also has a good amount. They're a smaller shelter, but still has a good amount. I mean, we're preparing for the kitten season, so
Right.
that's always the busiest time for us.
And does the Manhattan facility get the most traffic in terms of people visiting, people adopting? I'm asking a lot of logistics questions because I know people will be curious.
Yeah. So for dogs, actually, Queens does significantly more adoptions.
Interesting.
And for cats, right now, it still is Manhattan. Yeah, I think it's just easier to get to, and people know about us. But yeah, Queens is doing really well with dogs. It's a bigger facility, so it's a lot easier to walk around and meet the dogs than it is in Manhattan, which is tiny.
And I guess you could drive up to the Queens facility and drive home with your dog, hypothetically. So
Yeah, you
maybe
want
maybe that aspect of Queens factors into it, just off the top of my head.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's big and it's new, and people are excited about it. So I think maybe they, get excited to go. But we
And
also have mobile adoptions. We have a truck
Okay.
that brings animals around to the different parts of the city, and those are always all of our cats always get adopted from those. Because we also bring kittens, and I mean, like,
Ugh.
right? Kittens are just so fun.
Who doesn't want a kitten?
So fun. I think they're like drunken sailors.
Oh, 100%.
Just like the way they fall around and
Michelle has a. How old is Munchie Chi?
She will be a year in June. So what is that? 10 months now,
10
right?
months. Yeah.
10 months, yeah. And she's the tiniest little weirdest cat, and I love her to pieces.
are we gonna see her?
What?
Are we gonna see her?
I mean, the door is open. She'll probably stroll through at some point. I'm sure you'll see a tail walk past, maybe.
Yeah.
and for people who don't know, we do same day adoptions in a lot of cases. So people can come in, meet the cat or dog they want, and oftentimes go home the same day.
Well, that's good to know. A lot of places don't do that. There's usually a pretty lengthy process, I mean, I assume you do like background checks and all that stuff as well. So,
we do open. It's called open adoptions, and it's not like what it is in like a human adoption, but it's you'll always know who the cat's previous owner is. It's basically like conversation based. So we sit down. Our adoption counselors sit down with people, talk about the lifestyle and their experience and what they're looking for, and they make a match in that way. And so it's not like you have to write an essay or do a house check. We couldn't do a house check anyway, and we get 20,000 animals in.
right.
That makes sense.
It's about respecting the adopters.
Yeah, exactly. It gives everyone a chance to meet their pet. And also we have an app. So if you're ever bored, and you just want to look at pictures of cats all day, don't we all? We have an app. It's called ACC of NYC, and it shows the bios and the videos. You will hear the voice of Evelyn. Dan, I'm sure you will recognize that voice. We all do. We love it. So it's an easy way to find what you're looking for.
I'm gonna shout out Evelyn again. I found her. She did 3 YouTube videos of my Taylor. He was known as Zimbabwe at that time. This was 2 years ago. His owner died, and he was kicked out of his building, and he was brought to ACC. And she did 3 videos, and he struggled at first because he was 13 at the time and pretty
You
confused. And he
adopted
was,
him at 13?
I did. I saw his face. Um, I think this was one of your New Hope partners pulled him from the facility, and I took him in as a foster, quote unquote. I am the world's worst. I have foster failed 4 times in a row, by the way. And I saw his face, and there was just something about it. But I'd say a year after I adopted him, I found these videos on YouTube from Evelyn. I wasn't even aware of her at first. And each video was like a minute and a half long, and she was so loving and caring and just talking about, oh, he's made a little progress. He's reacting to the toy. You just Each cat is like that. And now she's on my personal Facebook, and every day I see her sharing pictures of this older cat or that older cat. It's not just a perfect, adorable kitten. It's these cats that sometimes are older or have some health issues or have some challenges. And just the way she writes and
Oh,
discusses
it's her
them, there's
voice.
so
So,
much love and passion and care in what she does. You know,
yes.
the world needs millions more Evelyns, in
And
my
Dan,
opinion.
I think we say that pretty much every day.
she also comes to staff and says, I saw this cat today. He's doing much better. Could you consider reassessing him? And we will reassess cats because Evelyn has seen something that maybe, the rest of us just didn't get a chance to see. And it's just great.
And also helps adopters. Like my friends adopted, and I said, "Oh, who helped you?" And they were like, "Well, this really lovely woman named Evelyn." I'm like, "Oh, did she have a little bit of an accent?" Right? She's got the greatest voice I've ever heard. "Well, this cat likes to eat carrots, and he's a lovely gentleman."
That's a
She
pretty
said,
good Evelyn impression, in my opinion.
she's amazing. And she just tells these stories, which is that's what people want to hear. They don't want to just be like, this cat's 10. That's not going to help. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it you got through Alley Cats?
Yes.
That's who pulled. Yeah, because I'm just looking at the record now.
Can I make a quick pitch though for the app and the
Yes.
website aspect of it? So if you go to your phone and you search for an app, ACC of NYC will get you to our app pretty quickly, and then online nycacc.app will get you also to our adoption site. You'll get the filter for different animals and things like that.
So, one more good question, then I have a few more, and I have a few challenging questions. Are all the adoptions same-day adoptions, or what is the adoption process? Because that's something I want to understand a little better. Are they all same day, or do you make that judgment as a staff? How does that work?
No, I mean, if you're approved to adopt, you can adopt that day. The only reason that you wouldn't bring the animal home that day is if they still needed to be altered. So, some animals come in and they're not spayed or neutered. So they're still available for adoption, but then they get adopted. Then we do the alteration surgery, and then they pick up the cat. So, yeah, it's same day. It's same day or nothing.
Are all shelters, in other cities that have equivalent ACC shelters, are they all same day, or is that just an ACC thing?
I'm not sure, but we under our contract and I think this is a New York State law. Stephen, you might know, but any animal that is adopted out needs to be altered before
Okay.
placement.
Right, absolutely.
Okay. Um, so sometimes ACC seems to get a bad rap
Yes.
in certain circles, in certain rescue circles on Long Island. ACC's gotten a very bad, an occasionally bad rap. Is that something you could speak about and how
Love,
you've dealt with it?
yeah, I would love to
The
speak about
floor is yours.
I mean, because as the marketing person, trust me, I see it all. I see the comments online. I see the websites that are set up that say, ACC is a, terrible place. Um, to which I would say, have you been there? A lot of our haters have never been to the shelter, which is frustrating. Um, but I think, 10 years ago, yeah, we were not good. I will say that, we had a high euthanasia rate, um, maybe 12 years ago. Um, and people were rightly upset because here we are, the richest city in the nation. And why are we euthanizing so many of our stray animals? Why are they in these cramped quarters? Why are they in rundown, shelters? Totally get it. Um, I was one of those people that wanted to come on board and change it. I wanted to help. That's why I joined. Uh, but things have changed. People just can't, they don't want to revisit that narrative. They have built this whole personality almost around hating ACC. And to change that, it would be too much. So they don't want to. Um, I mean, I sometimes compare it to people who like politics. If you don't like a certain political view, it's really hard to change. Even if that politician changed, you're still not going to change.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, people would have to do, yeah, anyway. So they don't want to adjust that narrative because I think it threatens like who they have built. Here they are. These are the facts. And it's like, well, they're not the facts anymore. We went from a really high euthanasia rate to cats, especially. We place like 93% of our cats. So, and we have for quite some time. And that is considered like a no-kill. We don't use that language because it's divisive and meaningless unless you're using it to raise money off the backs of hardworking shelters. So but we've placed 93%. So how can we be terrible? We're not. If you've come to the shelter, you see all the work. Right, Stephen? I mean, I think people need to change their narrative, but it's very hard. It's very hard to do that.
I can proudly and happily say that we have, as far as I know, and I watch this very carefully because I see all the cats come into Manhattan. We've never euthanized a cat for behavior because we felt that cat shouldn't be around. We just don't do that. People will make euthanasia requests. Owners, cat parents will make euthanasia requests for behavior, and we will routinely deny them. We'll say, you can give us your cat. We will figure out a happy place for your cat, wherever that might be. It might be alternative placement, but we won't take your cat's life.
That's a really good point, Stephen, because this is also another thing that it's hard for people to comprehend is that we offer low cost to free humane euthanasia for people that can't afford it. And most of the euthanasia in our statistics is owner intended euthanasia. So, and people that are against ACC refuse to acknowledge that separation. So, do we euthanize cats? Well, we do. But it's a service we provide for people that can't afford it. I mean, euthanasia for cats starts at $400.
Yeah.
And so, I'm really proud to work for an organization that will handle the heat of the public to serve people that can't afford to provide a humane end-of-life care. We've even had celebrities that are like, you're killers. And it's like, wait a second here. Didn't you just post that your dog died? Well, how did that happen? Did your vet kill that dog? No. Animals don't live forever. And they need a place to go. People need a place to go. Half of the city is living at or below the poverty line. What are they to do? And they come
And
to us. So,
this is about end of life conditions, medical conditions for the most
right.
part. Their animals are profoundly sick and dying, and they want a compassionate. I mean, this is really important. They want compassion at the worst moment of their life with respect to their animal, and to not provide that compassion is not humane. And that's what we do, is we
Yeah.
provide compassionate care. We are also transparent. We have a special list of dogs and cats who are at risk potentially, and the outcomes are all transparent. Euthanasia for medical reasons,
All
as
on
an
our web,
example.
all on
It's
our
all
website.
there.
So this, I wasn't aware. So you're doing your job tonight, because I wasn't even aware that you offered a low cost euthanasia service. Is that, how does that work? Is what's in my head is what I want to ask. Do they come to the facility for that, or
Yep, they come to the facility, or what we really prefer them to do is to make an appointment. Um, and they fill out a form that kind of talks about, well, where's their age, what does the vet at home say, what is the problem, or they come to the shelter with their dying pet, and we provide that service with our licensed veterinarians who have gone to Ivy League schools. Like, this isn't just like off the turnip truck. They're educated at the best vet schools in the nation. So yeah, I would want that for my pet too, and we do provide that. And we get a lot of, and then we send them a card. We take the prints, the paw prints, and we send them a card, and we get a lot of notes back, thanking us. And sometimes I think, oh, I should publish those on social media to let people know, but then it just seems so insensitive. I don't know. It's hard. Um, I want people to know that this half of our numbers that you see like floating around with the haters, those are people who are bringing in their 22-year-old cat. What do they want us to do? They're not
right?
highly adoptable. It would be unethical to keep.
That makes sense.
I'm really glad you asked that question, by the way.
Um, it just, I'm learning so much tonight. I'm sure Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
as podcast hosts, how do you market? How do you get the word out? What's the primary way do you do it? You said social media has helped you tremendously. It helps, the reels of Taylor's reels get several thousand views on YouTube Shorts, and he's just a 15-year-old cat that doesn't want me to bother him half the time. How do you get the awareness out of these programs? Because I could tell you, when she had cancer last fall, that was a consideration for me, is the cost of that and the
Yeah.
cost of her care. Uh, you know, by the grace of God, her cancer spread so fast, she didn't suffer for very long. But that was in my head, the cost of doing this, the cost of care. It's something I discussed with my vet. I just saw a tail.
That's Delilah.
How are you educating people like me that, like, I didn't even know you had this? I think that's
Well,
wonderful
Stephen
to have
invited
that.
me. Yeah, I'm just grateful Stephen invited me on here. But I have a double-digit advertising budget, so it's about
Ooh.
$10. So it's the huge advertising budget. But yeah, social media, anytime we can get in the press, that's free advertising. We work with a lot of influencers. Oh, you must know this influencer who is the most lovely person in the entire universe. Candace Kumai.
I've heard the name.
Oh my God. You got to get her on the show. She's amazing. She has a huge following. She loves cats, but she's also like a wellness and spiritual coach. She's incredible. So like she came to the pet adoption center, hung out with the cats all day, put it up on her social media. There's a million people watching that. So like pairing up with influencers, that's been really great for us. In the dog world, There's the Doggist. There is a woman named Isabel Klee who has a huge following. She comes to the shelter. So it's like all the volunteers, they take really great videos and footage. We have a group in Queens called Borough Bred in Brooklyn, and they focus on dogs. It started in Brooklyn, but since we're closed now, it's Queens. They have a huge following, and they do great videos of our dogs. So, it's really just everybody kind of, working together. And even, if you can't adopt, even interacting with your local shelter in their social media, that helps. I mean, just saying like 10 words, that's going to help the algorithm. So, I mean, it's free. It's free to spread the word. So, yeah, we count on that. We do events. We have a lot of rescue partners. We have a spot on New York One that the ASPCA gave us.
Oh, wonderful.
Every other Thursday on New York One, they showcase a dog and a cat. Every Sunday on NBC at like 6 in the morning, we have one of our marketing guys, Alec, will talk about animals that are available for adoption. So, like, there's different outlets. But yeah, it's hard because some people will say, well, you don't do any advertising. It's like, right. So we can spend $100,000 on advertising, or we can hire a vet.
Right.
Yeah, and the social media will get a better result anyway. Speaking of social media, first of all, you guys followed our Instagram. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. And we caught a reel that featured Stephen of a triple adoption. I've never seen a triple adoption in my life. I wanted to feature that triple adoption. Stephen, can you take it away and tell us about that?
Yeah, I certainly will. And I will just briefly mention that it was very recently we, in fact, adopted out 2 cats that magically became 3 to a lovely woman. And I am very excited to tell you, Katy, and everybody here, that as a special guest, we are about to see the adopter of those 3 great cats, Camden, Leroy, and Henry. So, Dan, is Melissa there? Oh, hey, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Hey, welcome. This is Michelle, the co-host, and Katy Hansen, our Director of Communications and Marketing at ACC.
How are you? Nice to meet everybody.
Well, I
Thanks for having me.
recognize you from the reel.
So, Melissa, do you want to tell us, there is a reel, and Dan's going to link to it in the show notes. There'll be a link to the Instagram reel, which kind of explains what happened. But do you want to tell us just briefly a little bit about what happened?
Yes, well, it was a rainy Saturday, and I was like, I should go shopping, just browsing, and not, I was like, window shopping for cats. And so I screenshot, a few cats that I wanted to see, and I got there, and I was, of course, in line, and I wanted to make sure the cats were still there instead of just waiting out in the rain. And the woman says, do you know that all of the cats that you screenshot all came from the same family? I said, what? She's like, actually, they're in the window right there. I was like, you've got to be kidding me, because Papa Henry, he's like a blonde rag doll. The other cats are like brown and white. You never would have connected the dots that these, they were of the same family. So anyways, I finally got in. There was another family looking for Leroy, and Stephen, you were actually there, and you said Camden was underneath the towel, but he was, hissing, whatever, and I just carefully peeked underneath of the towel and started rubbing his chin, and next thing you know, he was like rolling in my lap, and like you watched the whole thing kind of unfold in a few minutes, right?
He blossomed. He wasn't hissing. He was shy, and he blossomed under your gentle touch so quickly. It was just amazing.
Yeah, it was, and we thought he was Leroy, but that was Camden. So I was like, oh, well, I guess Camden, you're coming home, and let's go and try to meet your brother and your dad. And so went over to them, and they were, very shy and like to themselves. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's raining. It's almost 6 o'clock. It's closing. Let's get Camden home. I'll come back tomorrow. So then I came back the next day. And at 11 o'clock, there was already a woman there taking Henry. So I said, okay, not supposed to be, but I'm going to let it go. My heart's broken, but okay, this is supposed to be, let's get Leroy and get out of there as soon as possible. But I slipped her a Post-it note with my phone number just in case, like she was gonna, I don't know. I was like, maybe in a couple years she'll call. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna who knows? I was on the bus home with Leroy, probably like 45 minutes later, and the woman tells me that she's returning the cat, and I said, oh my God, this is insane. I'm like, I'm halfway downtown. What do we do? And
why did she return the cat?
she had a new kitten, and I think they got Henry home, and they thought that he was too big. I don't think she she was really lovely. I don't think she got approval from the rest of the family members, what have you. But it broke my heart because Leroy was left, and he had to watch his dad go. So it was this whole thing. So that was Sunday night. And Monday, I was like, okay, I'll be there right when I was emailing, you guys. I didn't know who to reach because, it was Sunday. But I told the woman, I said, please tell them to hold Henry. So when I got there, they're like, we're holding Henry. And I started crying. I was just so happy. I was like, come on, Henry. I was like, let's get home. I was like, you've been locked in this, too many days watching your family go. But yeah, so it was never intention. I was just going window shopping. My fiance had no idea. I had no intentions of getting a cat. But he knows I love animals. So anyways,
how are they doing?
Excuse me?
How are they doing?
Oh, they're amazing. They're little snuggle buddies, I wish I could show you a video of them kissing and licking each other, and Papa Henry, they run up on the Papa Henry. You can really tell that it's their dad, the way they interact with him. When he came home, they were so excited. When he went underneath the bed, they're both like, we're going underneath the bed with you. But now they all come out, eat together, and it's really, really, really sweet. It's a huge blessing.
So it's the dad and the two kittens from the dad. So it's a father and two sons.
Yes.
That's so adorable. Do you have other cats or other pets at home already?
Yes, I do. I adopted one from the ACC in January, but he fell in love with my mother. So we're kind of, yes. So I lost, unfortunately, about 1.5 years ago. I've adopted other animals from the ACC, actually, at 110th Street that I had for about 16 years, and I lost them. So having this trio is like having the trio back.
That's great.
And these kinds of stories are the things that people like Katy and myself and everybody at ACC work to foster and create this environment where people feel safe and respected and are able to make adoptions like this work.
Yeah, well, you were a big part of it, so thank you, Stephen, because you were like, he wasn't hissing, they were all scared, and you're like, just peek underneath the towel. So it was, you made for the experience, but so thank you.
Sure.
And thank you for sharing the story. And this is the first time we've ever had 5 people at once on the podcast. So thank you for that as well. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you popping on and telling us the story. And good luck.
So much.
Good luck to everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for everything you guys
Take care,
do.
Melissa. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for joining.
And next, Katy, we have your English teacher from 12th grade. Welcome, Mr. Teacher. Now, would that be awesome? Can we do that, please?
That would be amazing.
Katy, is there anything I missed? Any message that you want to? Something I did early on in the show is I used to give the floor to the guests. If they had something they wanted to tell people, or just like an overarching message that you want to tell in your role with ACC, is there something you want to tell people? The floor is yours. Take it away. Anything.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Dan. I think I just would hope that people would really respect shelter workers. We really work hard. We're not in it to make huge amounts of money. We are in it because we love animals. We know that people love animals, and that pets belong with people. And that's what our goal is to have every pet can get a home, and every home that wants one can have a pet. So that's what we're all working towards. And it's really easy to lash out at shelter workers because the state of the world is in chaos. A lot of people are abandoning and surrendering their pets. We're doing the best we can. People want to be angry at someone, and we would just ask that you just not be angry at us. We're trying. We're working really hard, and we're really good people. We do a good job, and we try our hardest, and we love the pets as much as everyone, and we want them to find homes. So join on the bandwagon. Support your local shelter. Support your municipal shelter because they're the ones that can't turn any away. So I guess that's sort of what I would.
I think that's a very important message.
We're all New Yorkers.
That's right.
We dropped breed labels like in 2017, and we now call all of our pets boroughbreds.
I love that.
They all have individual stories, individual backgrounds. They're boroughbred. I don't know if they all speak in that accent, but I just assume they do.
Well, I have a very soft spot for ACC, not because I've gotten to know Stephen and he's joined the show, and he's, when Sophie, I keep pointing, but when Sophie was sick, Stephen was a very, very big help to me emotionally. And I could tell you from having adopted Taylor when he was 13, he is an extraordinary cat. Considering, I can curse, it's my show, considering he's seen some shit in his day and how he came to ACC, he acts like he's 15, he acts like a kitten. My younger cats look at him like, dude, I can't run that fast. And he keeps me company when I work, because I work from home for healthcare. He sits on the corner of my desk. He follows me around. He's become almost the spokes cat of the podcast in terms of just the love in his eyes and the light in his eyes. And he's 15. And he's just an amazing cat. And he came from ACC, and I saw the picture, and I just connected with him instantly from a Facebook picture. So I have a soft spot for you guys just because of him and the experience of taking him home and just giving him like a second chance, retirement home. It just any preconceived notions I may have had personally about ACC instantly went away when this cat came into my home.
Are you trying to end it on making us all cry?
No. Are you hiring? No, I'm kidding. It's just he's all. I love all cats. I love all animals. I really do. They're all special in their own way. But he's just this extraordinarily. He's extraordinary is the word I use all the time. We did an episode, Stephen and I, where we answered one question related to Taylor. I think I said extraordinary 75 times. He gets this look of love in his eyes, and he looks at you, and what I'm doing to him is the most fascinating thing he's ever seen, and he's just happy, and all the other cats love him. It's like he's always been here, and it's just my only regret is I didn't know him from when he was a kitten. But I just want him to live forever. So that took any opinion I may have had about ACC instantly changed when I saw what you guys did with him, and even just getting his information and all the effort you put into working with him. And it wasn't easy. And then seeing what Evelyn again, I've invited her on the show. She has yet to agree. Just seeing what she did her own YouTubes of who does that as a volunteer, who takes the time to put them on your own personal YouTube of this cat who didn't want to be bothered with anybody at that point. At that point, he was scared out of his mind, traumatized, and she just, you do a spot-on impression, Katy, of her. Mm-hmm. So my opinion immediately went away, any preconceived notions, but I've even learned so much more tonight just from hearing about the euthanasia service that you offer and the trucks that you offer, and even having Stephen as part of the adoption process. Somebody who consults in cat behavior can assist you with adopting a cat is every municipal shelter should follow this trajectory and have
Right?
this program.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's hard. We can barely afford Stephen at this point. So.
Yes, you can. But it is the compassionate connection with the community. And quick plug, nycacc.org, and the adoption app, nycacc.app, app.
Michelle,
Awesome.
can you tell me the name of your book again?
The Farty Feline. It's about this one right here. It's about this little nugget of stink.
The Farty Feline?
Farty.
We'll Katie, I'll send you the Amazon link to that.
Oh my God, I'm slightly obsessed with that now. We have a reading group that kids come in and read to the pets.
Oh.
Maybe they could read that book.
Oh, I would love that. That'd be awesome.
They read Stephen's book too. They read Stephen's book too. Happy the Rescue Cat. Yeah.
But I think the Farty Feline should be on the short list for the next read.
And again, based on a true story. Right,
Yep.
right, Michelle?
Absolutely.
As soon as we get off, I'm going to that and finding that. Is it available on Audible?
No, it's just on Amazon.
I'll send you the link to Michelle's debut episode where I actually asked her to read a few portions of it, and I almost lost it. It's just, it's a great book. It's a great book.
Alone.
Katie, we could talk to you all day long. We want Michelle and I want to work for ACC. We want you to hire us as the official podcast.
I wouldn't say no.
An eye-opening. Michelle's gonna, after we record. Michelle's Dan.
Designer, by the way.
Michelle's gonna be like, Dan, could we talk for a minute after we record? You stop asking them to hire you. This has been, Katie. It's been an amazing, eye-opening experience for me to learn about ACC, to learn what you do. I think what you do is extraordinary. I hope this helps you change people's opinions about ACC and how hard you work. We're going to definitely make an appearance at your facilities one of these days, and
you should do you could do a podcast from inside the cat room.
we'd love that. We would love that.
It's a magic room.
Really, we could go to the Queens rooms. We have the community rooms in Queens as well.
We
That's what
definitely.
will happen.
We definitely will. We want to do more. We want to do some live, on location stuff. So we'll definitely do that. Thank you so much. Again, give me some plugs. Plug the website. How do people find ACC?
nycacc.org and on your app, ACC of NYC. And I will just say one last thing, especially for cats. We have amazing rescue partners that we work with in New York City with cats. I mean, we don't do it alone. There's a lot of cat lovers and cat rescues out there, and they're all listed on our website. They're New Hope partners. They also need adopters, fosters, donors. So support your local cat rescue.
And go adopt from ACC. They have amazing cats. Even seniors, please consider adopting a senior. They make amazing cats. And Katie, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Michelle and Dan.
Thank
Anytime.
you. It's been great.
It was great.